Hari Om.
Hari Om. Namaste to all. Prostrating at the lotus feet of Brahmanishta Shrotriya Sadguru, Swami Virajeshwara Saraswati, and the entire Guru Parampara, on behalf of all of us, today's discourse on Viveka Chudamani will continue. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Om Mahasaraswatyai Namaha, Sadashiva Samarambham, Sri Shankaracharya Madhyamam, Asmadacharya Paryantam, Vande Guru Parampara, Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam, Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram, Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam, Sutra Bhashya Krudau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah, Sarva Vedanta Siddhanta Gocharam Tamagocharam, Govindam Paramanandam Sadgurum Pranatosmyaham. Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwaraya. Hari Om. Last time we had stopped at the verse number 450, and from 451 onwards, today's discourse will continue. As was told last time, ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಗೂಢವಾಗಿ ರಹಸ್ಯವಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಗಂಭೀರವಾದ ಶೈಲಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ತಿಳಿಸ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿವೇಚನೆಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟ ವಿಷಯ. ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಚಂದ್ರಶೇಖರ ಭಾರತಿ ಮಹಾಸ್ವಾಮಿಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾನವನ್ನ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳಿಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So Acharya is dealing with the concept of prarabdha, the importance and why it is not that much correctly understood almost, and it has its own place in the Karma Siddhanta and the rebirth concept in our Indian philosophy. And he continues in detail about this, the nature of prarabdha, and beautifully, ultimately he summarizes at the highest standpoint of view. Only Acharya Shankara Bhagavad Pada could do it. Ultimately what he will say, that would be, there is no prarabdha at all, even for a jnani. I mean, for a jnani, not even. For a jnani, ultimately there is no prarabdha at all. As what we consider, what we experience in our day-to-day life, ups and downs, these experiences constitute some total of prarabdha. In one way, we can use the other term also, though not 100% equivalent, but almost nearing to this. Prarabdha word is destiny. So destiny word can be understood very easily. Prarabdha word cannot be understood so easily. You know, we speak of destiny. Oh, our destiny is like that. Destiny is not in our hands. Destiny is in the hands of God. So we are destined to become this or that. See, for example, a young boy or a girl, all the while he or she will think that she would become a famous doctor. Ultimately, the person will end up in some other profession in the later life. And normally we say that is the destiny of the child or the concerned entity. So destiny word can be tagged on almost as an equivalent to the word prarabdha. Now, I repeat once again, we have to remember one thing very correctly from our standpoint. In this empirical world, in this worldly life, other than jnanis, brahmavidas, realized masters, all of us who have not yet realized our true nature, we are called as ajnanis. So for us, ajnanis, prarabdha is always there. The birth of the body itself is due to prarabdha. ಈ ದೇಹ ಬಂದಿರುವುದೇ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದಿಂದ ಅಂತ ವೇದಾಂತ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಆಗೋ ತನಕ ಜನನದಿಂದ ಮರಣದವರೆಗೆ ಈ ಶರೀರ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ಅನುಭವಿಸುತ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಮನಸ್ಸು, ಅದೆಲ್ಲದರ ಮೊತ್ತ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರು. ಒಳ್ಳೆಯದಿರಲಿ, ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದಿರಲಿ, ಶುಭ ಫಲ ಇರಲಿ, ಅಶುಭ ಫಲ ಇರಲಿ, ನೋವಿರಲಿ, ನಲಿವಿರಲಿ, ಸಂಕಟವಿರಲಿ, ಸಂತೋಷವಿರಲಿ, ಎಲ್ಲವೂ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದಿಂದ ಉಂಟಾಗುತ್ತದೆ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ. ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬಹಳ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವಿಷಯ. ಅದನ್ನು ಪದೇ ಪದೇ ಮತ್ತೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಶ್ಲೋಕಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ವಿವರಣೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. All that we have to always remember from our standpoint from the standpoint of ajnanis who are not brahmajnanis. From the normal person's standpoint of view, as was told earlier, we are carrying the bag of sanchita karma, accumulated karmas of previous, that has to be exhausted. Not in this birth alone, in the future, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of births. And the baggage, accumulated karma, sanchita, always remains. Then this birth is due to prarabdha. All that we have to face in this birth constitute prarabdha. And till we die in the future, in this birth, till the death takes over in this birth, what all the things we perform and what all the experiences we gather, that constitute the agami karma, kriyamana karmas are agami, the future. So accumulated, the present prarabdha, what we are facing, and the future karmas are the effect of the karmas, what we experience or what we perform. They come and constitute under agami karma, bhavi karma. So repeatedly we have to remember one simple point, the core point, what all Mahatmans and Acharya is making very clear by taking the help of the Shruti, Upanishad Vachanas, that when the Jnanodaya occurs, when realization occurs, when Brahma Sakshatkara occurs, by the grace of Sadguru, by the grace of the self, by the grace of the Lord, by the grace of the Pratyekatma, when I truly realize my real identity in a flash, that is what is called the dawn of the jnana. Then what happens? All the accumulated karmas, the baggage of sanchita karma will automatically get destroyed. So after self-realization, when a mumukshu, when a spiritual aspirant of the highest quality becomes a brahmajnani, brahmavida, sanchita karmas are automatically destroyed. That is to be remembered. And the person, the entity, brahmajnani, atmajnani, or a self-realized master, even he is no more, he will be affected by the agami karmas in this birth, in this life, the body, as long as it is alive. He is not affected by the future karmas his body is going to perform. So he is devoid of the effect of the agami karmas also. His sanchita karma also gone. Both have gone. Agami karma effect will not be there. Sanchita karma effect will not be there. Only thing, the prarabdha holds the body. The body is standing, body is living due to prarabdha. The body has to experience. The sthula sharira, along with the mind, along with the ego, has to experience. So the body is still there, the physical body is still there, the mind complex is still there, body mind is there. So it has to experience the prarabdha of its own. The only difference, what we have to remember, from the standpoint of a jnani himself, very difficult to understand. From what Acharya finally comes to the conclusion and makes it so clear, a bit more confusing for all of us in the normal sense. Acharya makes it very clear that from the standpoint of a jnani, Mahatma, a Brahmajnani, from his standpoint of view, at what the level of jnana he is stabilized, he has stabilized himself. For him, there is no prarabdha. Please remember this. For us, when we look upon a Mahatman walking in front of us, living among us, eating, walking, talking, sleeping, just like us. And we think that he is facing so many hardships, so many obstacles, so many problems, so many health problems, so many crises, all appear like that for us, onlooker. His body may be suffering. He himself may be suffering in that sense. The pain is exhibited. The pleasure is exhibited. Sometimes the jnani also feels very happy. He will laugh, he will enjoy, he will cajole, humorously he will talk. At times he will weep in the sense he will become angry. He will show all such behavioral pattern. So for us, it looks as if he is going through the prarabdha. He is going through his own prarabdha. It appears like that for us, onlooker. No doubt his body is facing those problems, but he is totally detached. He is totally cut off. He remains a witness to his own body-mind complex. He remains a witness to his own pains and pleasures of his body and his organs. He is not at all disturbed, not at all perturbed, because he has stabilized himself in that pure, self-abiding, self-radiating Pratyekatma. No more he thinks that he is the body-mind complex. No more. So he has cast off that feeling at all. So for him, there is no prarabdha. Technically, this is the logic Acharya puts in so beautifully. We have to understand this very correctly. His body may show the prarabdha, effects of prarabdha, but he is not bothered. He is not enamored. He is not actually influenced. He will never interact. He remains a witness to his own body. Now, to make it very clear before we go to these shlokas, one or two small examples. Last time I had taken a few examples. ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಸ್ವತಃ ಅವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅವರು ತಮ್ಮ ಈ ಸ್ಥೂಲ ಶರೀರ, ಈ ಮನಸ್ಸು, ಬುದ್ಧಿ ಆದಿಯಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಅವರು ಸಾಕ್ಷೀಭೂತದಲ್ಲಿ, ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಚೈತನ್ಯದಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದಿಂದ ಏನೆಲ್ಲ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆದರೂ ಸಹ, ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ತೊಂದರೆ ಆದರೂ ಸಹ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಹೊರಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೋಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮಂತ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಬಹಳ ಸಂಕಟ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ತೋರುತ್ತೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವರ ದೃಷ್ಟಿಯಿಂದ ಅವರ ಮನಸ್ಸಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಪರಿಶುದ್ಧ ಮನಸ್ಸಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಶುದ್ಧ ಸತ್ವ ಮನಸ್ಸಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಆತ್ಮನಲ್ಲಿಯೇ ಅವರು ಆತ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠರಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ ದೇಹವನ್ನು ಸಹ ಅವರು ಅದನ್ನು ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಚೈತನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಸಾಕ್ಷಿ ಭೂತನಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ. ತೊಂದರೆ ದೇಹಕ್ಕಿದ್ರೂ ಸಹ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದು ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಉತ್ತಮೋತ್ತವಾದ, ಉತ್ಕೃಷ್ಟವಾದ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅರ್ಥ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನಮ್ಮಂಥ ಭಕ್ತರಿಗೆ, ಸುತ್ತಲೂ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಜನಗಳಿಗೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯೂ ಸಹ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅನುಭವಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ, ಸಂಕಟ ಪಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಸೋದು ಸಹಜ. ಒಂದೆರಡು ಉದಾಹರಣೆ. To understand this correctly, one or two examples. All of us, we know in the life history of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, the end of 19th century, that ultimately he had, during those days, he suffered with throat cancer. You know, the word cancer, just now it had entered into the fields of allopathic science. It was a dreaded word at that time because there was no any particular medicine at all, no treatment at all. So he had throat cancer, especially in the last 1.5 years of his physical life. In the last stages, it was very severe throat cancer. And even to, take one or two gulp of a liquid food was so difficult for Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He was on the bed, especially in the last few months of his lifetime. He was not able to eat, not able to talk. So much pain was there. Others, all his disciples, including Swami Vivekananda, they were observing, they were weeping in the sense they became helpless. They could not bear that their guru was suffering from cancer, such a dreaded disease. And they could not help, neither he could help. See, he being one of the greatest Mahapurushas of our Indian philosophy, a greatest Siddha Purusha, Mahasanta Purusha, he himself had to undergo that. Another example is in the Tamil Nadu, Tiruvannamala, in 1950s, very recently, we can say. Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi, ultimately, as per the doctor's verdict, in the sense, the normal sense, the normal feeling, that he had developed on his left forearm, upper arm, the cancerous growth, cancerous tumor. Twice he was operated. The doctors from Chennai at that time, they came down. Even during 1950, there was no much, medicine available for the treatment of the cancer. They did conduct the operation. Of course, Bhagavan was not bothered at all. He told his disciples, why are you bothered about this body? Let it suffer. But the devotees were not ready. They could not bear that Bhagavan suffering from the excruciating pain of the tumor, radiating from the left arm, upper arm, and the whole body was under painful condition. Now, they forced him to go for operation. The operation was done. The tumor was removed. Within 4 or 5 months, again it reappeared. Again, devotees forced Bhagavan to undergo for second operation. He insisted that why are you people so much bothered? Why are you giving importance to this body so much? Ultimately, he kept quiet. You do whatever you want. He was unperturbed, like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He became a witness to his own body suffering due to prarabdha. And second time operation was done. The tumor which had grown on the left upper arm, again it was removed by the same doctors from Chennai in Tiruvannamala. But what happened? As per the medical point of view, that became a disease without any cure. And doctor's verdict was the body is suffering, too much of pain. Bhagwan's body is suffering, and they could not do other than an operation. And the cancer had already spread. So, according to the doctors, medical doctors, ultimately that became one of the reasons for his departure, for his Mahasamadhi in 1950, April. But the point here is, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is a great Mahatma, one of the greatest Mahatmas, Maharishi of the Kali Yuga. Here, what we have witnessed. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, great Paramasanta, Siddha Purusha, what we have seen. greatest of the greatest people, the planet Earth, I would say, who are the beacons of the knowledge, eternal knowledge of jnana, radiating, disparaging, distributing to the whole world. But their body had to undergo the prarabdha of the disease called cancer. Even in 1980, what happened in Mumbai, the famous Nisargadatta Maharaj, another great Advaitin, a realized master of Natha Sampradaya, even he developed cancer in the later stages of his life, came throat cancer, and officially, and that took away his life ultimately. Even Nisargadatta Maharaj had the throat cancer. So, prarabdha is there for the body. And that is exactly what Acharya said. The physical body with the ego, the mind that I am the body, this concept, Sharira Abhiman, see, that is the root cause for us all the time to suffer and suffer and suffer when the effect of the prarabdha takes over the body, mind complex. So, prarabdha means it has to yield the fruits in this birth, which has already been decided, and the body has to face good or bad, good effect or bad effect. And nobody can escape from this. So this is what we call destiny. This is what is called destiny. So that's why Acharya says, last time what we covered, Jnanodayat purarabdham karma jnanam nanashyati, jnanat nanashyati, adatva swapalam lakshyam uddishya utrushta bhanavat. Adatva swapalam lakshyam uddishya utrushta bhanavat. Jnanodayat purarabdham karma jnanat nanashyati. ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಆಗೋ ಮೊದಲು ಈ ದೇಹ ಯಾವುದು ಅನುಭವಿಸಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದೆಯೋ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ, ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಆದರೂ ಸಹ ಆ ದೇಹ ಆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಫಲವನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿಯೇ ತೀರಬೇಕು, ಯಾರೋ ಅದರಿಂದ ಹೊರತಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. So that was where we stopped last time. And he gives an example. Adatva swapalam laksham uddishya utrushta bhanavat. Once you have taken, when you have released the arrow from the bow with all the force, and the bow has to hit. After you release the arrow from the bow, Acharya says, if you say stop, the arrow cannot stop because it has to hit the target, whatever the target. So without hitting target, it will not lose its energy and it will not just like that fall down by your command. ಬಾಣವನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟಾಗ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೂಡಲೇ ನಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ಬಾಣ ನೀನು ಹೊಡಿಬೇಡ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಬಾಯಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕೇಳುತ್ತಾ? ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಬಾಣ ತನ್ನ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಮುಟ್ಟುತ್ತದೆ. ಆಚಾರ್ಯರ ಉದಾಹರಣೆ. ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಬಾಣ ಎದೆಯೇರಿಸಿ ಬಿಲ್ಲಿನಿಂದ ಹೊರಟ ಬಾಣ ತನ್ನ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಮುಟ್ಟುತ್ತದೆ, ತಪ್ಪಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ಗತಿ, ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಉಂಟಾದರೂ ಸಹ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ದೇಹ, ಈ ಶರೀರ, ಈ ಮನಸ್ಸು, ಅಹಂಕಾರ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿಯೇ ತೀರಬೇಕು, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಫಲವನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿ ತೀರಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಆಚಾರ್ಯ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ಶ್ಲೋಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿ ಅಂತ ಆ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಯನ್ನು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. In the next shloka, the same example Acharya is making further very clear so that we should understand. So what he says, Vyagrabuddhya vinirmukto bana paschattu gomatau na tishtati chinnatyeva lakshyam vegena nirbharam. Vyagrabuddhya vinirmukto bana paschattu gomatau na tishtati chinnatyeva lakshyam vegena nirbharam. ನ ತಿಷ್ಠತಿ ವೇಗೇನ ನಿರ್ಭರಂ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಯಂ ಛಿನ್ನತಿ ಏವ. ಕೀವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು? ಒಬ್ಬ ಬೇಟೆಗಾರ ಕಾಡಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಟೆ ಆಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆತ ಹುಲಿಯನ್ನು ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಮನಸ್ಸಿದ್ದಾಗ ದೂರದಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಲಿ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ. ಓ, ಹುಲಿ ಎದುರಿಗೆ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಅವನು ಎಳೆದು ಬಾಣವನ್ನು ಗುರಿ ನೋಡಿ ಆ ಹುಲಿಗೆ ಗುರಿ ಇಟ್ಟು ಬಾಣವನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟಾಗ, ಬಾಣ ಬಿಟ್ಟ ಕೂಡಲೇ ಆತನಿಗೆ, ಆ ಬೇಟೆಗಾರನಿಗೆ ಅನಿಸುತ್ತದೆ, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ನಾನು ತಪ್ಪು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಹುಲಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಾಣ ಹೊಡೆದು ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ, ಅಯ್ಯಯ್ಯೋ ಅದು ಹುಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಅದು ಒಂದು ಹಸು, ನಾನು ತಪ್ಪು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡೆ ಅಂತ ಅವನು ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಪಶ್ಚಾತ್ತಾಪ ಪಟ್ಟರೂ ಸಹ, ನಾನು ತಪ್ಪು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡದೆ ಅಂತ ಪಶ್ಚಾತ್ತಾಪ ಪಟ್ಟರೂ ಸಹ, ಆ ಗುರಿ ಇಟ್ಟು ಹೊಡೆದ ಬಾಣ, ಬೇಟೆಗಾರನಿಂದ ಗುರಿಯಿಂದ ಹೊರಟ ಬಾಣ, ಅದು ತನ್ನ ಗುರಿಯನ್ನು ಖಂಡಿತ ಮುಟ್ಟುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದು ಹಸು ಇರಲಿ ಹುಲಿ ಇರಲಿ, ಅದು ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. So in this example, Acharya is making very clear. When the hunter by mistake thinks that there is a tiger deep in the forest, and he aims and then releases the arrow with full force, the moment he releases the arrow, suddenly he recollects, no, I did a mistake. It is not a tiger. I thought it was a tiger. No, it is not a tiger. It is only a cow. So even if he repents mentally, already yes, he has tuned and left. Yes, the arrow he has already released. So with the introspection that he did a mistake in identifying, the arrow will not stop. Arrow will travel in its own trajectory with the same speed and it will hit the target, that is a cow. So the mistake, arrow doesn't know, because the action has been performed. The action has to yield the result. The karma is performed. Releasing the arrow is the karma, and it has to hit the target. So it has to give the phala. It has to yield the fruit. Whether whatever he thinks, the hunter, the karma will not change. The effect of karma will not change. That is the point, Acharya. That is why he says, next, fairly larger slope. Prarabdham balavattaram khalu vidam bhogena tasya kshayah samyak jnana hutashanena vilaya prak sanchitagaminam. 4-line charana shloka, the first 2 lines. Prarabdham balavattaram khalu vidam bhogena tasya kshayah samyak jnana hutashanena vilaya prak sanchitagaminam. Keywords in this shloka. Samyak jnana hutashanena prak sanchita agaminam vilayaha. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು? ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧಂ ಬಲವತ್ತರಂ ಖಲು ವಿದಾಂ ಭೋಗೇನ ತಸ್ಯ ಕ್ಷಯಃ. ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅನ್ನೋದು ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಶಿಷ್ಯ, ಅತ್ಯಂತ ಗುರುತರವಾದದ್ದು, ಬಲವಾದದ್ದು, ತಪ್ಪಿಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯವಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಫಲವನ್ನ ನಾವು ಅನುಭವಿಸಲೇಬೇಕು, ಅದರಿಂದ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧಂ ಬಲವತ್ತರಂ ಖಲು ವಿದಾಂ ಭೋಗೇನ ತಸ್ಯ ಕ್ಷಯಃ. ಮಹಾತ್ಮರೇ ಆಗಲಿ, ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯರೇ ಆಗಲಿ, ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳೇ ಆಗಲಿ, ವಿದಾಂ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವರು ಜ್ಞಾನಿಯೇ ಆದರೂ ಸಹ, ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಯೇ ಆದರೂ ಸಹ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ಫಲವನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿಯೇ ತೀರ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ನಾಶ ಆಗೋದು ಹೇಗೆ? ಅದರ ಫಲವನ್ನ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಆ ಕರ್ಮ ನಾಶ ಆಗತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಕರ್ಮ ನಾಶ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ ನಾಶ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ. ಮುಂದೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ? ಸಮ್ಯಕ್ ಜ್ಞಾನ ಹುತಾಶನೇನ ವಿಲಯ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ ಸಂಚಿತಾಗಾಮಿನ. ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಬಂದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಅಂತೂ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಅನುಭವಿಸಲೇಬೇಕು, ಅದು ತಪ್ಪಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ರೆ ನೋಡಪ್ಪ ಶಿಷ್ಯ, ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಬಂದಾಗ ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪನ್ನನಾದರೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಉಂಟಾದರೆ, ತನ್ನ ಸ್ವಸ್ವರೂಪ ಅರಿವಿಗೆ ಬಂದರೆ ಆಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾನಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ ಸಂಚಿತ ಆಗಾಮಿನ ವಿಲಯಂ, ವಿಲಯ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆತನ ಸಂಚಿತ ಕರ್ಮಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಈ ಜನ್ಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆಗಾಮಿ ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ಫಲಗಳು ಅವು ಎರಡರಿಂದನೂ ಆತ ಮುಕ್ತನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಈ ಮುಂದೆ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಆತನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಕರ್ಮಗಳು, ಆತ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಕರ್ಮಗಳು ಅದರ ಫಲಗಳಿಂದ ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಚಿತ ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ಏನಿದೆ ಮೂಟೆ ಅದರಿಂದ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾಗಿ ಮುಕ್ತನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಜ್ಞಾನೋದಯ ಆದಾಗ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಮಾತ್ರ ಶೇಷವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸಂಚಿತ ಕರ್ಮ ನಾಶವಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆಗಾಮಿ ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ಫಲವೂ ನಾಶವಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಆತನಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಸಂಚಿತ ಕರ್ಮ ಫಲ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಆತ ಮುಂದೆ ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ಫಲವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಇದು ಕೊನೆಯ ಜನ್ಮ, ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ ಆತ ಜೀವನ್ ಮುಕ್ತನಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಆತನಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪುನರ್ಜನ್ಮ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತೆ ಸಂಸಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಮರಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆದರೆ ದೇಹ ಇರೋ ತನಕ, ಶರೀರ ಇರೋ ತನಕ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಬಲವತ್ತರವಾಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸಿಯೇ ತೀರಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಇಸ್ ಮೇಕಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್. ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧಂ ಬಲವತ್ತರಂ ಖಲು ವಿದಾಂ ಭೋಗೇನ ತಸ್ಯ ಕ್ಷಯ. ವಿದಾಂ, ಆಚಾರ್ಯ, ವಿದಾಂ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಎ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ, ಎ ಆತ್ಮವಿದ, ಆತ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನ ಸಂಪನ್ನ, ಎ ರಿಯಲೈಸ್ಡ್ ಸೋಲ್, ಎ ಮಹಾತ್ಮ. ವಿದಾಂ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧಂ ಬಲವತ್ತರಂ ಖಲು ವಿದಾಂ ಭೋಗೇನ ತಸ್ಯ ಕ್ಷಯ. This prarabdha, what his body has to face, the effect the body has to face, good and bad, sukha and dukkha in this life, it has to be experienced, then only it is destroyed. The prarabdha phala is destroyed only after experiencing it. Even for a jnani, nobody can escape. Nobody can escape. So that is the point here. Samyak jnana hutashanena vilaya prat sanchitagaminam. Next line Acharya says, Samyak jnana hutashanena. Once jnana dawns in, once realization occurs, once you know your true nature, that you are Atma Swarupa, you are no more the body, your ego is destroyed, your ahankara is gone, your body-mind complex is gone, your Sharira Abhimana is gone. You no more identify with your body, mind and organs. No more you will remember and say that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the buddhi, I am the chitta, I am the ego, I am the ahankara, I am so and so. So once that stage occurs, Samyak jnana hutashanena vilaya prak sanchitagamina. The accumulated karma, baggage, sanchita karma and its effects, and the future karmas in this life, in this birth, till the death of the body, the future karmas, agami karmas, both will vanish. Their effects totally vanish. They don't yield any more fruits. So whatever a jnani does in his life after attainment of jnana, after salvation, after enlightenment, no more he is bound by the law of karma. That is the point. After the attainment of jnana, he is not bound by the law of karma. Whatever karma is performed, there is no effect on him at all, good or bad. He is a pure witness and he knows that he is not performing anything. He is no more the doer. He is no more the karta. So no more he is the enjoyer. Because he knows that he is Atma Swarupa. Atma is pure asanga, nishkriya, nirvikalpa, nirakara, advaya, aja, amara, nishkala. Nitya Buddha Shuddha Atma Swarupa. For Atma, there is no association. There is no karma bandhana. No baggage of karma is there to affect this Atma itself. Atma is nothing but Paramatma, Pratyekatma, Parabrahma Vastu. There is only one, Ekameva Advitiyam. He is that only. I am that only. When that feeling is there, so all the Agami karmas, he is devoid of the karma phala. All the Sanchita karmas, baggages so far he had carried, even they vanish. They vanish totally. No more effects. Only prarabdha remains for this body. Only prarabdha remains. That is why earlier, the same Vivek Chudamani, Acharya had made one point, very landmark shloka I had told at that. At least for ajnanis, normal people like us, we have to remember. In the same Viveka Chudamani, earlier, Acharya gave a beautiful shloka on prarabdha. Prarabdham pushyati vapuhu iti nishchitya nischalaha. Prarabdham pushyati vapuhu iti nishchitya nischalaha. Dhairyamalamvya yatnena swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Dhairyamalamvya yatnena swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Prarabdham pushyati vapuhu iti nishchitya nischalaha. Acharya has made this point very clear. He tells the disciple, look, my dear disciple, prarabdha pushyati vapuhu, your present life, this physical life, your body, mind complex, your sthula sharira and sukshma sharira complex, your body, vapuhu, there he refers to that. Your body is controlled by prarabdha. Prarabdham pushyati vapuhu. Your whole body, mind complex, your life in this birth is controlled by prarabdha. Means influenced by the prarabdha. The body, mind complex has to experience, undergo good and bad things. Joyful and pleasurable instances, experiences, and unwanted, unpleasurable, horrible experiences. It's due to prarabdha. So prarabdha will take care of the body. You don't bother. Whatever happens, happens because of prarabdha. The body, destiny, as Bhagavan calls it. The destiny will take its course. What is bound to happen, it will happen in the future, till the death. Good and bad things happen to the body till the death. Then next line, what Acharya says? Now he gives that famous instruction that is also for us. He tells the disciple. That is why dhairyamalamvya yatnena swadhyasa apanayam kuru. So with grit, with determination, with fearlessness, with a courage, dhairyamalamvya, with the courage and determination, face your prarabdha in this life. Let whatever happen to the body, mind complex. Think that every time something bad happens, some crisis occurs in your family, in your life, the next moment, think that it is happening to the body, not to you. Develop that courage. Dhairyamalamvya swadhyasa apanayam kuru. So get out of the imposition that you are the body, this false identification that you are the body. Come out of that. All the time you remember that all that is happening to this body, not to me. I am pure Atma Swarupa. I am that Paramatma Swarupa. I am that Pratyekatma Swarupa. And the Atma is a self-radiating, self-shining, eternally present. It is always present. It is unborn. Neither it is born nor it will die. Neither it is affected by any effect of the karmas. It remains unperturbed, motionless, actionless, speechless, as a total witness, serene, calm, and it's Ananda Swarupa itself. So I am that Paramananda Swarupa. I am that Atma Swarupa. Always think like that, Acharya says. Dhairyam swadhyasa apanayam yatnena. He uses the word yatnena swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Dhairyam yatnena, by determination, by perseverance. Don't get disheartened. Don't get carried away by the problems in this life, what you face in the future, tomorrow, due to prarabdha. Don't get disheartened. Develop the courage, and by determination, all the time you think that you are not the body. Yatnena swadhyasa apanayam kuru. Remove that feeling of adhyasa, false identification. Adhyasa means false identification. All the time why you think you are the body. So that is a false identification. Adhyasa. That is due to ajnana, ignorance. Due to the ignorance of so many births, all the time you think that you are the body, you are so and so, your ego is there, your ahankara is there. You are identifying that I am this so and so, I have got a name, I am this body. Remove that feeling by constant practice. Yatnena, by constant practice. Dhairyam with courage and determination. That's how beautifully Acharya says about prarabdha. Prarabdham pushyati vapuhu iti nishchit nishchalaha. Nishchalaha, remain calm and composed. Prarabdha, let prarabdha occur. Let it, if effects come and go. Let the body experience good and bad things. Let there be crisis or good things or happy things or wonderful moments. Whatever is there, it has to come. It will come to this body. I have to face it as a witness. Let me just witness it. But let me not get affected. Let me not get enamored by it. Let me not get distracted by that. Let me not weep. Let me not lose the heart. Let anything happen, let it happen. Destiny will take its course. Destiny will take the course. Prarabdha is there for the body and mind, not to me. Not to me at all. My body is suffering. There is a crisis, financial, family crisis, whatever the crisis. Let me face it. This is what Acharya said earlier. Now, to make this point on prarabdha, very a pertinent quote of Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi is always given. We have to remember. Prarabdhada bagge Acharya ಹೇಳಿದರಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧಂ ಪುಷ್ಯತಿ ವಪುಹು ಇತಿ ನಿಶ್ಚಿತ ನಿಶ್ಚಲಃ. ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಪ್ಪ ಶಿಷ್ಯ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದಿಂದ ಈ ದೇಹಕ್ಕೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ತೊಂದರೆ, ಅನುಕೂಲ, ಅನಾನುಕೂಲ, ಸುಖ, ದುಃಖ, ಸಂಕಟ, ನೋವು, ನಲಿವು ಏನೇ ಬಂದು ಒದಗಿದ್ರು ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಅದನ್ನು ಎದುರಿಸು. ನಾನು ಈ ದೇಹ ಅನ್ನೋ ಶರೀರಾಭಿಮಾನ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಬಿಡು. ಶರೀರಾಭಿಮಾನ ಇರೋ ತನಕ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ತೊಂದರೆ ಮನಸ್ಸಿಗೆ ಆಘಾತ ಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಮನಸ್ಸು ಚಂಚಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಈ ಅಧ್ಯಾಸವನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡು, ನಾನು ದೇಹ ಅನ್ನೋ ಅಭಿಮಾನವನ್ನ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳಿ. ಭಗವಾನ್ ರಮಣ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೂ ಸ್ಪಷ್ಟವಾಗಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬಂದಾಗ, ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನಿ ಅನ್ನೋ ಶಬ್ದದ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಭಗವಾನ್ ರಮಣ ಮಹರ್ಷಿಗಳೇ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ, ಡೆಸ್ಟಿನಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಭಗವಾನ್ರೆ? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ. ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಬಗೆಹರಿಸ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗುತ್ತಾ? ನಾವು ಅದರಿಂದ ಹೊರಬರಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾಧ್ಯನಾ ಅನ್ನೋ. ಸೊ ದೆರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಒನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಭಗವಾನ್ ಶ್ರೀ ರಮಣ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ on destiny. The question was, how can we overcome or how can we conquer the destiny itself? Because everyone says that life goes on according to the destiny. We are all destined to face good and bad things in life. The moment we are born, the destiny is there. Because of destiny, we are born. Everything is destined. Everything is preordained. Everything will take place according to its own laws of karma. So I have to face good and bad. Only thing I don't know tomorrow what is going to happen. But everything is pre-decided. Destiny. Pre-decided. How to overcome this? How to conquer this? Destiny. In other words, it's nothing but prarabdha. The questioner's word, destiny, referred to prarabdha only. And Bhagavan answered. It's a beautiful, beautiful concept. We have to remember all the time. He said, look, there are only two ways. Only two ways you can conquer, you can avoid, you can get over the concept of destiny. Number one, first way is the direct way. Direct way called Jnana Marga, path of self-inquiry. Path of self-inquiry is the only best way to get away of your the concept of destiny at all. You just inquire. In the path of inquiry, self-inquiry, you start inquiring. You start thinking. You start putting questions in your own mind, seriously. Start analyzing, seriously. For whom this destiny is there? If you start analyzing to whom the destiny applies, to whom the prarabdha is there, the answer would be that it is to your ego, your own ahankara, your ego, ahankara, combined with the mind and the body. The ego as a shadow permanently is there, identifying with the body. So the destiny is for the ego because the ego is experiencing. Because the ego is bound by that. Your own ego, ahankara, ahambhava, is bound by that. And if you go on analyzing, go deeper into the contemplation, ultimately we'll know that the ego is non-existent. It's only a shadow. It is only mithya. It is not real. Ultimately, when you understand ego itself is unreal, mithya, a shadow, a non-existent, a phantom entity, then the question of destiny will not arise. The question of destiny will not arise at all. Because once you know that you are the self, you are the Atma, so there is no destiny for the Atma. There is no destiny for the self. Self is beyond. Atma is beyond anything. So how can the destiny or prarabdha can affect your Atma once you know that you are that? So this is the direct method, Jnana Marga. Now, if it is not possible to follow like this, analyze this, Bhagavan said, now for normal people, he said there is another second path. Another second. What is the second way? Total surrender to God. This is possible. Bhagavan says, if you cannot enter into the Jnana Marga, path of inquiry, self-inquiry, then totally surrender yourself to the God. Surrender totally to the Almighty, to your Ishta Devata. All the time you think that your Ishta Devata, the Lord is superior, supreme. He is the Karmadhyaksha. He is the maker of the destiny. He is the destroyer of the destiny. He is the one who looks after the entire creation. You are just a part of the creation. And you surrender yourself to the Lord, at the feet of the Lord. Always remember that. Always think that He is the one. He is the benefactor. You are nothing. You are a dust particle. He is everything. You are nothing. Whatever He thinks, whether good or bad for you, He will order it as your destiny. Just take it and face it like that. If something happens, good or bad, think that it is a prasada of the Lord Himself. Think that it is the Krupa, grace of the Lord Himself. Whether He puts you in a unfavorable crisis or in a favorable situation, everything is due to His prasad, His anugraha, His grace. So completely you hand over your responsibility, totally surrender at the feet of the Lord. It should be total surrender. You must always think that whatever is happening, Lord, Paramatma, is all because of your grace. I leave everything to you. I am not the doer. You are the doer. This body is only instrument. You are sitting inside. You are getting done things from this body. I am nothing and you are everything. I leave it to you, your judgment. Whatever happened, let it happen according to your will and wish. I don't have my own will and wish. So that is what Bhagavan says. Total surrender. Simply surrender yourself. Total bhakti. Total bhakti. Pure devotion. Remember, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa used to say that when you pray, Lord, when you pray Divine Mother, always remember, he used to say, don't ask for Papa or Punya. Always make it a point that, Lord, let the Papa you only take that. You only take the Punya. I don't want any Karma Phala at all. Neither the Papa Phala nor the Punya Phala. Everything you take it. So I don't want any effect of the karma I do. That means that's how he used to put. ಪರಮಹಂಸರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಭಗವಂತನ ಹತ್ರ ಹೇಗೆ ಕೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಭಗವಂತ ನನಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಪಾಪದ ಫಲವೂ ಬೇಡ, ನನ್ನ ಪುಣ್ಯದ ಫಲವೂ ಬೇಡ, ನನಗೆ ಪಾಪವೂ ಬೇಡ, ಪುಣ್ಯವೂ ಬೇಡ, ಎಲ್ಲವನ್ನೂ ನೀನೇ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಪ್ಪ ಭಗವಂತ, ನನಗೆ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಬೇಕು. ಐ ವಾಂಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯು, ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಎಲ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ surrender. Surrender, Sharanagati. Even this is difficult. So Bhagavan used to say this all the time. Only two ways are there. Either the self-knowledge or total surrender. If you are still in Dvaita Bhava, completely surrender. And think that you are not the doer. God is a doer. God is there. He is a doer. He will look after. He is a benefactor. He will control your destiny. He will decide. He will give the grace. He will show the grace if you totally surrender and worship Him with one-pointed concentration. So that is how. That is why Acharya says the next two lines of the shloka will come. Brahmatmaikyamavekshya tanmayataya ye sarvada samstita tesham tattridiyam nahi kvachidapi brahmaivate nirgunam. Fairly, the next two lines of the shloka. Brahmatmaikyamavekshya tanmayataya ye sarvada samstita. Tanmayataya ye sarvada samstita tesham tattridiyam nahi kvachidapi brahmaivate nirgunam. ಮುಂದಿನ ಎರಡು ಚರಣಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾತ್ಮ ಏಕತ್ವ ಭಾವವನ್ನ ಯಾರು ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಅನುಭವಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೋ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೋ, ಮತ್ತು ಸದಾ ಸರ್ವದಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಕಾಲಗಳಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವಸ್ಥೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿಯೂ ಅವರು ಆ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಭಾವದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರ್ತಾರೋ, ಅಂಥವರಿಗೆ, ಅಂತಹ ಮಹಾನ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ತತ್ ತೃತೀಯಂ ನಹಿ ಕ್ವಚಿದಪಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮೈವತೆ ನಿರ್ಗುಣಂ, ಅವರು ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ನಿರ್ಗುಣ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಆಕಾರ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ಆಗಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಮೂರೂ ರೀತಿಯ ಕರ್ಮಫಲಗಳು ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ತತ್ ತೃತೀಯಂ ತೇಷಾಂ ನಹಿ ಕ್ವಚಿತ್ ಅಪಿ. ಈ ವರ್ಡ್ ಮೂರೂ ರೀತಿಯ ಕರ್ಮಫಲಗಳು. ತತ್ ತೃತೀಯಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಮೂರು ರೀತಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ಫಲವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಕರ್ಮದ ಫಲವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸಂಚಿತ ಕರ್ಮದ ಫಲವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮುಂದೆ ಅವರು ಮಾಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಆಗಾಮಿ ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ಫಲವೂ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಸದಾ ಸರ್ವಕಾಲ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠರಾಗಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಿಗೆ, ಸದಾ ಸರ್ವದಾ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾತ್ಮ ಏಕತ್ವ ಭಾವದಲ್ಲೇ ಇರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮಹಾನ್ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿ ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧದ ಫಲವಾಗಲಿ, ಪ್ರಾರಬ್ಧ ಕರ್ಮದ ಫಲವಾಗಲಿ, ಸಂಚಿತ ಕರ್ಮದ ಫಲವಾಗಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಆಗಾಮಿ ಕರ್ಮಗಳ ಫಲವಾಗಲಿ ಇರೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಅವರು ಸಾಕ್ಷಾತ್ ನಿರ್ಗುಣ ಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸ್ವರೂಪರೇ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಚಾರ್ಯ ಹೇಳೋದು. So what Acharya says in these last two lines, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾತ್ಮೈಕ್ಯಂ ಅವೇಕ್ಷ ತನ್ಮಯತಯ ಯೇ ಸರ್ವದಾ ಸಂಸ್ಥಿತಾ ತೇಷಾಂ ತತ್ಕೃತಯಂ ನಹಿ ಕ್ವಚಿದಪಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮೈವ ತೇ ನಿರ್ಗುಣಂ. So such of the great Mahatmans, greatest of the great Brahmajnanis, who after experience Brahma Atma Ekatva Bhava all the time, Sarvada Samsthita Tanmayataya, keywords, Sarvada Samsthita Tanmayataya, all the time they remain in that Brahma Bhava as Nirakara Nirguna Parabrahma Swarupa. They never even come down from this level of understanding that I am this body. Even in this physical world, when they are awake, when their sense organs are perceiving the world, they don't respond. They don't react. The eyes are there. They are seeing, yet they are not seeing. Their ears are there. They are hearing like us, yet they are not hearing. They are walking and sitting, yet they are not walking and sitting. They are talking and abusing and shouting and laughing, yet they are not doing all those. They are eating and defecating, urinating, yet they are not doing all those. ಅವರ ದೇಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಮಗೆ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅವರು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ನಿಷ್ಕ್ರಿಯರಾಗಿ, ಮಾನಸಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸರ್ವೋಚ್ಚ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಾತ್ಮ ಏಕತ್ವ ಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮೀಭೂತರಾಗಿ ಸದಾಕಾಲ ಸರ್ವದಾ ತನ್ಮಯರಾಗಿ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ, ಬ್ರಹ್ಮಜ್ಞಾನಿಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠರು ಅವರು ಅಂತ ಆಚಾರ್ಯರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂಥವರಿಗೆ, for such great brahmajnanis, all the three types of karmas, sanchita karma effect will not be there, prarabdha karma effect will not be there, even agami karma effect will not be there. All the three. Now, it looks little, there is some. All the time we knew that even a jnani, a paramajnani, has to experience prarabdha. Then how can Acharya is talking here? Even prarabdha is not there for a great brahmajnani. See, the conclusion is we have to go correct interpretation here. Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswamigal gives the correct interpretation. He says, please go into that Brahmatmaikyam Aveksha Tanmayataya ye Sarvada Samsthita. The key word is Sarvada Brahmatma Aikyam Aveksha Tanmayataya Sarvada Samsthita. So such are the Brahmajnanis, Acharya, what he writes here, that is explained in the commentary by Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami. Mahaswami says, what Acharya means here is the highest among the Brahmajnanis, what we call the seventh level of Jnana Bhumika as per Vedanta, called the Brahmavid Varishta Sthiti or Turyaga Sthiti. So for rare of the rare Brahmajnanis who enter into that state called Brahmavid Varishta Sthiti, real Avadhuta Sthiti, Brahmavid Varishta or Turyaga Sthiti, they always remain in that Brahmabhava. No, they never come down to the lower level of the mundane world. They never respond like any other Brahmajnanis to the mundane activities. They remain totally aloof, even silent, totally silent. nothing would distract, nothing would disturb. So, such Brahmavid Varishthas, Avadhutas, like Sadashiva Brahman and Sri Chandrasekhara Bharati Mahaswami himself. See, for them there is no prarabdha. That's what Acharya means here, according to Mahaswami's Bhashya, according to Mahaswami's explanation. See, so such rare Brahmajnanis who enter into, depending on their levels of distinction in the Samadhi state, who enter into Brahmavid Varishta Sthiti, state of Brahmavid Varishta, Turyaga state it is called, who perceive all the time oneness of Atman, the self with Parabrahma, and always remain as Brahmi Bhuta. Even for a second, they never consider that they are the body. They are the physical body. They are least bothered about their own body, their own physical body, their own Sthula Sharira. They are least bothered. They are beyond any your known activities. They are beyond any rules and regulations bound by human activity. So such rare Brahmajnanis, now they go beyond all the three types of karma phalas: Sanchita karma phala, Agami karma phala, and Prarabdha karma phala. Even the Prarabdha will not work in their case. The Prarabdha will not yield any fruits in their case because they are beyond everything. So that is in the case of Brahma Vidya Varishta, Turyaga state, the seventh level of Jnana Bhumika. This is what Sri Chandrasekhara Mahaswami writes. So only for them there is no Prarabdha also. For all other Brahmajnanis and all other people, Prarabdha is there. It has to be experienced. Because Shruti is very clear. Earlier Acharya said, Upanishads are very clear. Prarabdham bhogato nashyet. Shruti says, our Prarabdha, whatever I have to face now in this birth, I have to experience it in order to destroy it. Prarabdham bhogato nashyet. It cannot go away without experiencing. The effect has to be experienced for all of us. That means the body has to experience, the mind has to experience. So this is what Acharya says. We are the shloka number 452. We are stopping here. Brahmatmaikyamaveksha tanmayataya ye sarvada samstita tesham tat kritayam nahi kvachidapi brahmaiva te nirgunam. With Guru Sankalpa, we are stopping here today. Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama, Sri Rama Jaya Jaya Rama. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Namo Bhagavate Virajeshwara.
Hari Om, sir. As usual, I have one more question. As stupid as it may sound, out of my own ignorance. So please forgive me.
Note down. I will note down.
Sir, the question is, you said there are no prarabdha karmas for the Brahmajnanis who have attained Turiya Sthiti, which is the highest among Brahmajnani. But we have seen, of course, Bhagavan Ramakrishna Paramahamsa or Ramana Maharshi, why them, even Bhagavad Pada Adi Shankaracharya himself suffer from a lot of ailments which are physical, and they had to go through what they had to go through. And my understanding so far was that it was due to the prarabdha karmas of that particular body that they had. So if they are not suffering from prarabdha karmas, of course, they are Mahamahajnanis of, the best of all the times that we have seen, at least, the humankind has seen. Why did they have to go through prarabdhas? Even for Shankaracharya, according to Shankara Digvijaya, he had to go through somebody else's performance of some kind of a kriya. So which even his shishyas were surprised as to why, he was subject to that, because
Yes, yes.
he is Bhagavan Shiva himself, his own Shiva's avatar they call, and he had to go through a very mundane act performed by a very ordinary tantric. So
Yes, yes.
that kind of actually
Abhinava,
surprised me.
Abhinava Gupta.
Yes,
That
sir.
Abhinava Gupta is not the Abhinava Gupta of Kashmir Shaivism
Correct.
of.
Correct, sir.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's a question that is bothering me. So if you can kindly throw some
yeah.
light on this.
No, please, I have noted down, but next week I may forget it.
Yes, sir.
5 minutes earlier, if you can tag on,
Yes, sir.
you remind me this
I will.
next week.
Yes.
I got the question. I got the question.
Sure,
I got the
sure,
question.
sir.
Yeah.
Hari Om, sir. Hari Om.
Yeah. Hari Om.